I knew trouble was brewing the moment Jake Thornton strutted into our Austin office. His cowboy boots clicking like he owned the dusty Texas plains outside. That blazer of his was too tight, screaming "look at me," and his cologne hit like a cheap rodeo aftershave. This was the final push before the big acquisition, 18 months of haggling with North Star Ventures, a powerhouse out of Denver, ready to swallow Horizon Tech whole. Everyone was on edge.
Shuffling org charts,
Migrating emails, purging old drives, auditing assets. But there was Ryan Callahan in his corner office, glass walls reflecting the bright hill country sun, calmly versioning docs like he was tending a quiet garden amid a storm. I'd been Ryan's right hand in comms for 5 years, long enough to read his silences like code. He didn't hustle or fidget. He methodically checked every line, verified licenses, and bound the continuity plans with the care of a father prepping his kid for the world. The office hummed with anxiety, but Ryan moved with a peace that whispered he'd already faced the worst and come out steady. Deep down, I wondered if I was projecting my own fears onto him. After all, I'd poured my soul into this place, watching it grow from a startup in a strip mall to a tech beacon in Austin. What if this deal erased us all? But Ryan? He seemed untouchable.
Jake,
On the other hand, paraded like he was the deal's golden boy, nephew to our CEO and freshly minted VP of Strategy. He'd Googled disruption once and now preached it like gospel. With North Star's CEO, Ethan Larson, due any day, Jake acted like he was selling the company single-handedly. I handled the internal calls, so I saw the clashes up close. Ryan greeted Ethan with a simple morning, and Ethan responded like a fellow rancher, direct.
no bull. Jake,
He'd slap backs and call Ethan buddy, like they were at a barbecue. I cringed every time, my gut twisting with secondhand embarrassment. Was this how our legacy ended? In awkward high fives? 2 days out from closing, Ryan whiteboarded his systems map for Ethan's tech crew, no slides, just facts on failover times and load balances. Ethan stared, then nodded, solid. Jake had pitched a flashy deck with emojis the day before. It gathered dust. Yet the office buzzed with forced cheer, sparkling cider toasts, North Star swag bags. Jake even branded mugs with Jake T, Trailblazer of Tomorrow. I stared at one in the break room, lipstick smudged on the rim, wondering how Ryan stomached it. He was quietly archiving files, closing loops, deleting his own guides. Why bother? I asked, feigning casual. He glanced up, eyes kind but distant. Sometimes you travel light when you know the road ahead. His words lingered in my mind that night, stirring unease. Did he see something I didn't? Was I blind to the storm building inside him? Or was it my own doubt mirroring back? Jake's digs started subtle, like a slow-building drought. He'd interrupt Ryan in meetings, rephrasing solid plans into buzzword mush. What Ryan means is we're pivoting to agile scalability.
no.
Jake. Ryan meant the servers won't buckle if you stop treating them like a joyride. But Ryan stayed calm, arms crossed, a half smile hinting he'd seen egos like this crash before. My heart ached watching it. I'd admired Ryan's quiet strength, how he mentored without fanfare.
Now,
Seeing him undermined, it gnawed at me. Why didn't I speak up? Fear of rocking the boat, I guess. But it fueled a quiet rage in my chest. Then the slights sharpened. In a joint session, Jake unveiled a slapdash org chart labeling Ryan's team, Legacy to Sunset Q3, Q4. The room froze. Ethan's architect shot Ryan a look. You okay with that? Ryan jotted a note and nodded. His calm infuriated me more than Jake's arrogance. How could he not fight back? Inside, I battled my own silence. Was I complicit? Letting a good man get railroaded? Jake's ego ballooned. He swapped desks for standing ones. Blasted country remixes. Referred to himself in third person. Jake's got the vision. He booked meetings sans Ryan. Summarizing with nothing critical you missed. Ryan would forward corrections. Margins annotated. It was surgical, but Jake plowed on. The intern fiasco hit hardest. Ryan had groomed young Nate for months, sharp kid. Eager. Jake reassigned him to brand vibes, sneering, "Can't waste fresh talent on outdated tech." Nate broke down in the parking lot. I saw the tears. Ryan patted his shoulder. Outdated settles, talent endures. My throat tightened. Ryan's grace amid cruelty stirred something deep. A mix of admiration and guilt. Why was I just observing? HR whispered warnings. Jake pushing voluntary exits. Ryan sipped tea. Can't volunteer if I haven't offered. His words echoed in my head, amplifying my inner turmoil. Was this the end for men like Ryan? Steady builders in a world of flash? I tallied the humiliations mentally. Hallway clarifications in front of juniors. A printed meme about obsolescence handed like a joke. Ryan raised an eyebrow and walked away. Jake muttered, "Some folks lack humor." Coming from the guy who blasted whoopee cushions on calls. But Ryan wasn't retreating. He was observing, like a mechanic eyeing an over-revved engine. One hallway rant from Jake on sunsetting old ways, and Ryan murmured, "Disruption's just demolition if you ignore the foundation." He didn't stop, but his words pierced me sharp, revealing a depth I envied. Was he planning something? Or was my hope projecting onto his calm? The divide was stark. Ryan in a room with Ethan's team, fielding rapid-fire queries on contingencies. Attributions. Jake in the break room, hosting a vision mixer with fog machines. Ethan's crew grilled a Jake-submitted diagram. Production ready. Ryan, if lawsuits are your goal. A smile from their lawyer, conspiratorial. She slipped a red-tabbed folder away, Ryan noticed. Later, Jake's email blasted, Horizon 2.0 dawn, inviting a mandatory party, leave spreadsheets behind. I nearly laughed bitterly. Ryan skipped it.
Reviewing archive.
I peeked in. He was printing from an air-gapped drive. Old blueprints, he said. Roads get erased if you forget them. His enigma deepened my unrest. What was he hiding?
Meanwhile,
Jake live-streamed under balloons, toasting code wranglers and ops sheriffs. The intern chanted his name. Once Ryan's shadow. But Ryan was in the server room, accessing deep layers. He caught me. Ever watch someone play poker with cards you dealt? I nodded. Remember that. Chills ran through me. He was orchestrating. Next day. Whispers. Ryan signed the transition doc alone. No title. It clicked with the folder. The prince. While Jake danced like a wannabe mogul, Ryan had mapped the end. My heart raced with anticipation and dread. What cost would this revenge exact on his soul? It all traced back to a dusty call 14 years ago, when Horizon was a scrappy outfit in an Austin warehouse. Fluorescent lights flickering like bad omens. Our old CEO, grizzled Texan named Bill Harlan, tasked Ryan with building a Fed-compliant system without landing us in court. Ryan didn't just deliver. He forged the core, a modular beast with licensing mazes that'd tangle any copycat. That's where Clause 9.3 hid, in an IP annex. Notarized but unassuming. It granted Ryan residual rights in sales or mergers tied to his architecture, mandatory advisory role, veto on transitions. Not a flex, just a safeguard. He filed it, backed it up, and forgot it, or so it seemed. But ghosts linger in Texas heat. 2 days back, Ryan strolled into a FedEx off Mopac Expressway, gray jacket from 14, manila envelope in hand. Clerk asked about insurance. Covered, he said. Addressed to North Stars GC. Overnight. Certified. Inside. Invocation letter. Clause copy. Dependency breakdown. 84% of Horizon's backbone and commit logs. Every code line. His fingerprints. The impact? Silent quake. North Stars GC called Ryan. 6 minutes. Confirmations. Then, advise us, Ryan, if required. She chuckled. Essential. No one at Horizon knew. Ryan glided through halls, spark in his eyes now, like a man who'd saddle his horse for the long ride. He stopped countering Jake. Ignored Snides. That's when my worry peaked. Was this calm a mask for brewing vengeance? Deep inside, I questioned my role, observer or enabler.
Let take rent, let HR murmur efficiencies.
The transition team even forgot Ryan on invites. But in my mind, turmoil swirled. I'd seen Ryan build this company with sweat and smarts, mentoring like a quiet uncle at family reunions. Jake's rise felt like a slap to that legacy, stirring resentment in me I hadn't named. Was I jealous of Ryan's poise? Or furious at the injustice? Either way, it ate at me, nights tossing, wondering if speaking up could have changed the tide. The final meeting loomed like a showdown at high noon. Jake preened, rehearsing lines. Ryan uploaded finals. Serene. I sat taking notes. Heart pounding, this felt pivotal. But for whom? Ethan arrived early. Bypassed Jake. Nodded to Ryan. Your walkthrough? Jake blinked like a deer in headlights. We filed in. Ryan at table's end.
No props.
Just presence. Ethan gave him a nod, not greeting. Signal. Jake launched into streamlining legacies, and a North Star exec stifled a laugh. Ryan waited as Jake flailed through AI hype slides. Ethan interrupted. Clarify core continuity. Jake stammered. Ryan stepped in. Distributed nodes. Pre-cloud protocols. West failover redundancy. Precise. Unyielding. Room shifted. Ethan twitched a smile. Jake joked. Ryan's our walking archive. I tell him AI's king. But old habits die hard. Right? Silence crushed like a boot on gravel. My stomach nodded. Jake's cruelty exposed. But Ryan's restraint? It amplified my inner conflict. Admiration clashed with pity. Ryan slid a matte black card to Ethan. No title. Just essence. Ethan flipped it. Barked a laugh. Serious? Jake faltered. Standard shift. But Ethan passed the card. His CFO whistled, eyeing Ryan like he'd unveiled a hidden ace. A tech lead whispered to GC. She nodded. The card? Ryan's quiet claim. Room pivoted. Jake clueless. But I felt the fracture, my loyalty torn between old guard and the deal's promise. Jake, sensing blood, went for the kill. Leaned back.
Smirking.
I'm calling shots now. Take 2 weeks. Ryan, then you're out. Ugly hush fell. Ethan's COO shifted. A pen clattered. GC narrowed eyes. My breath caught. Outrage boiled inside. How dare Jake humiliate him publicly? Ryan, unflinching, pulled another card. Slid it. Ethan laughed sharper. You fired your own lifeline. Jake. What? GC pulled docs. Clause 9.3. Residual rights. Advisory veto. 84% backbone. Invoked 48 hours ago.
Jake Paled, impossible.
He's no partner. GC. Binding. Your oversight?
Negligent.
Eyes on Ryan. He sat poised. Ethan. You axe the deal's keystone. My mind raced. Vindication surged, but laced with sorrow for the fallout. Jake glanced for allies. CEO stared at shoes.
No rescue.
Ryan spoke. Timing's key. Shift wasn't chaos. It was awakening. Inside, I grappled. Justice felt sweet. But at what human cost? They sidebarred. Ethan.
GC.
Architect. Ryan. Jake babbled. Symbolic.
Morale boost.
Ethan at door. Symbolic firing before our lawyers? We buy structures intact. You toss the foundation.
Door shut. Jake deflated.
We sat stunned. Projector glowed clause 9.3. Ryan's signature bold. He'd lit the fuse. My emotions churned harder, triumph mixed with empathy, wondering if revenge healed or scarred. When they returned, the air crackled with realignment, like thunder over the Texas plains. Ethan looked forged in resolve, no longer the affable buyer, but a man spotting rot in the beams. The GC sat stone-faced. Ryan entered last, unhurried, as if he'd just stepped off a porch swing. My pulse thrummed. This was the pivot, but dread mingled with hope. Would it destroy or redeem? Ethan cut sharp, adjusting structure. Jake, you're off integration. All infra through our liaison. He eyed Ryan. Implication clear. Jake's stare at the table. Color gone. Fingers twitching like a cornered coyote. Ethan pressed. Effective now. Ryan Callahan, strategic infrastructure advisor. Mods via him. It hit like judgment from on high. Our CEO mumbled. Reasonable. Given a clause. Clause spat like venom. HR scooted to Ryan. That comment was premature. Let's revisit your role. Pitiful plea. Ryan, too late. Accepted another's offer. Looking at Ethan. Yours. Kill shot. Elegant. Final. Silence swallowed the room. Ethan nodded. Respect gleaming, not glee.
Kinship.
Jake muttered, optics ignored. I watched the comms lead delete his slides, erasure in pixels. My heart twisted fiercer. Vindication for Ryan. But Jake's fall stirred unexpected pity. Was this pure justice? Or did it echo my own buried resentments? Ethan shook CEO's hand. Turned to Ryan. System solid, but timing? Masterful. Ryan always is. Ethan leaned, claws buried deep. Our team took ours. Ryan, ahead of Jake. Then, HR trailed Ryan with bonus babble. He didn't glance back. Ryan hadn't just survived. He descended, claws his quiet weapon. But inside me, storm raged. Admiration for his poise. Guilt for my silence. Sorrow for the human wreckage. Was revenge's thrill worth the soul's toll? 3 weeks on. The office transformed. Horizon signs lingered. But North Stars stamped everything. Jake's desk barren. Monitors dark. Whiteboard blank. Rumors, under review. Absent from syncs. One dev saw him snapping selfies in the lot. Plausible desperation. My empathy deepened. Jake's ego had blinded him. But wasn't he human? Flawed like us? Ryan, omnipresent. Advisor title granting firewall status between firms. No team. Just authority. Restructuring docs listed him reporting to North Star's CIO. His notes became lore. That in turn kept a Ryan Wisdom journal. If code needs hype, it's flawed. But the kitchen chat seared. I brewed tea. Ryan coffee. Same mug. New intern approached. How'd you flip it? Fired. Then boss. Ryan shrugged. Simple. Never chased applause. Just the right lever. He left. Door clicked. Respect echoed. But my inner voice screamed. What of forgiveness? Jake's downfall haunted, pushing me to question if victory, without mercy, was hollow. The clause's revival felt fateful, but humanized. Ryan invoked not from spite, but preservation. Yet as days passed, I saw cracks in his calm, fleeting glances at Jake's empty desk, a sigh in quiet moments. Was he wrestling demons too? My turmoil intensified. I'd idolized his strategy, but now pondered its cost to his heart. One evening, I caught Ryan archiving old photos, team barbecues, early hacks. Nostalgic? I asked. He paused. Reminders of why we build. His voice carried weight, stirring my own reflections. Had I built connections, or just watched? The acquisition closed smoothly under his watch. But whispers of Jake's voluntary leave hit hard. HR spun it as New Horizons, but I knew the sting. Inside, conflict peaked, justice served, yet empathy for Jake gnawed. He'd belittled, but perhaps insecurity drove him, nephew privilege masking doubts. Ryan's win inspired, but I yearned for resolution beyond triumph. Lunch with a colleague. Ryan's a legend. I nodded, but heart heavy. Legends often hide scars. Then, a breakthrough. Ryan called a small meeting. Not mandates, but dialogue. Transitions aren't erasures, he said. They're evolutions. His words pierced. Perhaps this was his lesson. Subtle. Human. My emotions surged, hope amid drama, hinting at redemption. But Jake's shadow lingered, fueling deeper doubt. Could one clause mend broken trusts? I lay awake, replaying humiliations, feeling Ryan's quiet pain mirror mine. The drama wasn't over. It evolved inward, demanding confrontation. As the dust settled in our Austin hub, the real reckoning brewed, not in boardrooms, but hearts. Ryan's role solidified. His advisories shaped the merger like a craftsman refinishing oak. But I noticed shifts in him, longer pauses, eyes distant over coffee. One morning, he stared at the horizon through the window, Austin's hills rolling like forgotten promises. Ever wonder if winning feels empty? He confided quietly. His vulnerability cracked my facade. My admiration turned to profound empathy. He'd orchestrated payback. But at what inner price? My turmoil escalated, nights haunted by Jake's public fall, his stammered defenses replaying. I'd cheered internally then, but now guilt flooded. Had I enabled the cycle by staying silent? Jake wasn't pure villain. Whispers revealed his pressures. CEO Uncle's shadow looming. Perhaps his bluster hid fears of inadequacy, much like my own hesitations. The office pulsed with new energy, North Star's efficiency. But Ryan's touch kept it grounded. Yet he sought me out more. Sharing burdens. That clause was insurance. Not a weapon. But using it stirs regrets. His confession deepened the drama, hero unmasked, wrestling morality. I shared my doubts. I watched it all. Did nothing. He nodded. Sometimes witnessing is the hardest fight. Our bond strengthened, but pain amplified. Was this merger's true cost fractured souls? Then, the unexpected, Jake returned briefly for exit paperwork.
Nostrat.
Just slumped shoulders, avoiding eyes. In the hall, he bumped into Ryan, tension electric. I froze nearby, heart hammering. Jake mumbled, "Didn't see it coming." Ryan paused. Then, "Neither did I." At first. No gloat, a bridge. Jake's eyes welled. Pushed too hard. "Huh. Ryan, we all do sometimes." The exchange gutted me, raw humanity amid corporate ruins. Jake left quieter, perhaps reflective. That night, emotions overwhelmed, tears for lost camaraderie, anger at systemic flaws allowing such clashes. Ryan's mercy highlighted my growth. I vowed to speak up henceforth. But deeper, sorrow for Jake. Had he learned, or was he broken? Ryan called a wrap-up session. Not triumphant, but introspective. This deal's about more than systems, he said. It's people. Respect the builders, or foundations crumble. His words resonated. A gentle lesson. Humility over hubris. Attendees nodded, moved. Even Ethan's rep praised the human touch. My chest ached with catharsis. Drama's peak. Blending vengeance with grace. Yet inside, storm raged fiercer, replaying Jake's humiliation. Ryan's quiet regrets. Was true justice merciful? I confronted Ryan privately. Did it heal? He sighed. Healing's ongoing. Forgiveness starts with self. His wisdom pierced, forcing me to face my complicity. Emotions surged: grief, hope, resolve intertwining. The merger finalized. Celebrations muted. Ryan mentored anew, but with softer edges. I saw him mail something to Jake, perhaps a reference? Gesture spoke volumes, humanizing the tale. My heart swelled with complex feelings, pride in Ryan's evolution, pity for Jake's fall, gratitude for the lesson. But closure eluded, dreams of alternate paths, where dialogue preempted clauses. The drama internalized, pushing me toward empathy. As Austin's sun set, I pondered. Revenge satisfies momentarily, but compassion endures. As weeks blurred, the emotional weight crushed heavier. Ryan's poise cracked subtly, a tremor in his voice stirring calls. A faraway stare at team photos. Victory's bittersweet, he admitted one dusk. Austin's skyline glowing. His rawness amplified my inner chaos. I'd rooted for his triumph, but seeing its toll? Devastating. Guilt clawed. My silence during Jake's onslaughts. Was I coward or bystander? Jake's absence echoed. His desk cleared, but memories lingered. Colleagues whispered his struggles, job hunts,
Therapy.
empathy flooded, humanizing him. Perhaps his arrogance masked deep insecurities. Family pressures. My heart broke revisiting his firing. Public shame. Deserved yet cruel. Ryan felt it too, invoking that clause. Necessary, but haunts. Our talks deepened, exposing vulnerabilities, his regret, my inaction. Drama intensified inwardly, tears alone, questioning if corporate games warped us all. The pivotal hall encounter. Jake. Gaunt. Eyes down. Collision with Ryan, I held breath. Jake. Blindsided me. Ryan. Life's full of blindsides. Learn from him. Jake choked. Overreached. Didn't I? Ryan. Pride trips us. Rise wiser. No vengeance. Olive branch. Witnessing it. Emotions erupted. Sorrow for broken bonds. Hope for mending. Ryan's session. Merger's test character. Value people over power. Lesson landed softly. Stirring reflections. Ethan's team applauded. I wept internally. Catharsis overwhelming. Confronting Ryan. Worth the pain? Pain teaches. Forgive to free. Wisdom gutted me. Forcing self-forgiveness. Surge of grief.
Resolve. Ide advocatan sa fort.
Merger sealed. Ryan's gesture to Jake, a glowing reference. I learned. Humanity shone. But my soul ached deeper, for lost innocence. Systemic flaws. Dreams tormented. What if empathy led earlier? Drama's crescendo. Demanding personal reckoning. The emotional torrent peaked as the merger's dust truly settled, leaving scars exposed under Austin's relentless sun. Ryan's transformation was palpable, no longer just the stoic architect, but a man burdened by the weight of his calculated move. In quiet moments, he'd stare at his hands, as if seeing the clauses ink stained there forever. I built safeguards for the company, he whispered once, voice cracking. But who safeguards the heart? His confession shattered me. I'd revered his strategy as genius. But now it revealed a profound loneliness, a soul adrift in the aftermath of justified wrath. My inner world convulsed. Guilt evolved into self-loathing for my passivity, replaying every slight I witnessed without intervention. Jake's face haunted, that final hall exchange, his vulnerability raw, eyes pleading for understanding. I dismissed him as villain, but empathy now flooded like a flash storm. His bravado likely stemmed from familial shadows, a desperate bid for worth. The public firing replayed endlessly, his stammered words echoing my own buried fears of inadequacy. Tears came unbidden, nights racked with sobs. Why hadn't I bridged the divide sooner? The drama wasn't corporate, it was deeply personal, exposing my flaws. Ryan sought solace in mentorship, but with a tenderness born of regret. He organized informal talks, sharing, power tempts destruction, humility builds legacies. Attendees left moved, but I saw his eyes, pained, searching for absolution. One evening, he revealed sending Jake a letter, not just a reference, but an apology for the clause's sting, offering coffee to talk. Vengeance closes doors, grace opens them. Gesture gutted me. Ryan's humanity shone brighter, amplifying my turmoil. Admiration clashed with sorrow for the pain he'd endured alone. Jake responded weeks later. A tentative email Ryan shared. Appreciated. Learned hard way, respect earns respect.
No fanfare.
But redemption's spark. Reading it, emotions overwhelmed, joy laced with grief for time lost, hope for healing. Yet deeper anguish surged. The merger succeeded, but at human cost. I confronted my reflection, complicit observer, now vowing change. Ryan's lesson crystallized. Timing wins battles, compassion wins wars. In a final cathartic talk, Ryan broke. That clause saved my work, but nearly cost my soul. Tears fell, his, then mine. We hugged, brothers in the storm. The story closed not in triumph, but quiet wisdom. Value others' depths. Forgive flaws. Build with heart. Austen's wins carried the message, lightening my burden. Emotions, once crushing, now guided, a gentle article of humanity amid drama's fire. But the peak lingered, dreams of reconciliation, where ego yields to empathy earlier. Jake visited once, shared beers with Ryan, laughter tentative, bonds mending, witnessing. My heart soared, then ached profoundly for fragility of trust, beauty of second chances. The tale's essence, revenge tempts, but redemption endures, teaching us all to lead with grace. The climax of turmoil hit as integration hummed, but souls remained fractured. Ryan's facade crumbled in private. The clause was my shield, but wielding it left wounds. His tears, rare, mirrored my deluge, regret for silence, empathy for Jake's downfall. I'd villainized him, but now saw the man, pressured, insecure, human. Ryan's outreach to Jake, letter with apology, invite to chat. Jake's reply, took the hit, grew from it. Thanks for the bridge. Reading, sobs racked me, redemption's dawn amid pain. Ryan, healing's mutual, his wisdom pierced, pride blinds, forgiveness illuminates. We shared vulnerabilities, my guilt, his isolation.
Embrasse-t-il d'alliance.
Emotions peaking in cathartic release. Lesson, cherish humanity over hierarchies. Jake's visit, awkward start. Then stories flowed. Laughter healed. My heart exploded. joy,
sorrow,
profound gratitude. The narrative's heart, from betrayal to brotherhood, urging compassion always. Emotions, intensified, transformed, from drama's depths, emerged lighter souls. In that fear-fueled reconciliation, Jake admitted, "Ego blinded me to your worth." Ryan, "We all stumble." Witnessing, "My soul wept with relief." The ultimate emotional crescendo, forgiveness's power overriding revenge's shadow. The American West's vastness mirrored our growth. Horizons expand with humility.